Hey guys, especially cold today. Having a cup of tea, but instead I'm having some water. So I was just going to go over some knives I've finished recently. One of them is this Tanto. I made the sheath and the handle out of Remu. And in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have, because I liked the grain in it, and so I ended up oiling it, and as such you can sort of see the split. And traditionally you lacquer them, which I think is really designed to hide the split. So really it was supposed to be a practical blade, and now it's not quite a practical blade. A little bit of copper there locks into the little groove in there. It's basically really only good for a letter opener, as long as you intend to do that to your letters. So I'm not sure. I mean, I could pull it all apart and redo it in micarta or something and make it a lot stronger, more practical, less flare. But really the blade was kind of an experimental one. It was a blade I'd had lying around since I was about 15, so a good 30 years and then a little bit. So yeah, a letter opener, I just wanted to see what it was like to do a traditional one. It's traditional, doesn't quite all fit together properly. Just another reason perhaps to pull it apart and redo it, but yeah, it's fun and it's come out pretty sharp. Fun knife. So another one I'm doing, which is going to be a lot more practical, is this one here. This one has got a micarta handle, red G10 liners. It's nowhere near finished, so don't stress out if you think that looks unfinished. It is. It's just been roughed out and shaped. It's got two big stainless pins. I opted to go for really big pins. I'm just trying something different. It's got another bit of copper which wraps around here, similar to that one. It's not on there at the moment. I haven't really polished the blade up at all or done anything, and it's highly Americanized. It's a Tanto, but an Americanized Tanto. But yeah, I'll make probably a Kydex sheath for it, so it's going to be uber practical. But like I said, this hasn't even been tempered yet, let alone sharpened, let alone finished. That's got a slight polish just to see what it would look like, but the inside it's still rough. I haven't fully sanded the handle down. But this one, as opposed to that one, is going to be a lot more of a practical using Tanto, as much as, you know, people use Tanto. Some people say Tantos aren't actually good for anything. I tend to disagree. Actually, ironically, they make quite a good, even though that's not sharpened at all, quite a good gutting knife, because you can run that along and it kind of acts a bit like a squared off drop point. So there you go, even without an edge it's still itching to do some work. So yep, that's one I've got to work on next. This one I think I've shown you. It's the Skindoo. I've got to contact the guy to see if he still wants it. I made two sheaths for it. First sheath, I thought, why not make a leather sheath that you can actually wear on your belt. It's a little bit over belt. I still have an issue with sheaths. I tend to make them too big. It's uber secure. Doesn't really fit in your sock though. So I made a second sheath. This one does fit in your sock. You can wear it traditionally. It's not much good for going out on the camp, whereas this one would be. I mean, these, yeah, the ceremony knives and blah, 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 but, you know, there's no reason at all why you couldn't use this as your main knife. It's got one single edge. It's got a kind of sharpened but not actually sharp false edge just to aid in penetration. It's got some notches, which again just kind of a look thing. Got a really comfortable handle, but definitely bigger than needs to be. But yeah, if someone wants to buy it, then I'll sell it. If not, I kind of like it, so maybe I'll get a kilt. Who knows? Now next is this one that I have been working on, the leather handled knife. It's reminiscent of a Randall Model 11 Alaskan style skinner, with my own sort of touches to it, my own mistakes on it. It's a good knife. You know, it'll certainly do what you need it to do. And being a drop point, it will open up an animal nicely. The handle is stacked leather rings with G10 liners, brass hilt, brass keeper at the back, a little copper nut on the end there. Tang is reduced, runs all the way through, threaded, that attaches to. Yeah. The sheath for this one, again, didn't quite make it as I intended, but it's definitely holding the knife in secure. You can wear it on your belt. I'm going to tie that up a little bit. That locks in, so it won't come out in a hurry, but as a secondary security measure, what I've done is put in these extra loops so that if you want, if you're so inclined, you could put these on and then pull the whole thing tight through the cords, and then it locks in. So essentially you can lock it all up so it's super tight, so you can be wandering through the Supplejack and Bush Lawyer and it's not coming loose. If you're in a situation where you need to free it up, you can just wear it without the loops, pull these out of the way if you're thinking you need to get access to it quicker. I don't know, maybe you're pig hunting or something, and then you can just pull that out, pull out the knife, slicey, dicey, very nice. It hasn't been stropped yet, just slapped together. What I'm looking at doing is, as an aside note, is doing a maker's mark, and I've sort of come up with a name I'm thinking of, and I'm hoping to etch those onto the knife blade. So no super hurry to sell it because I want to do that. But yeah, leather, belt loop, extra straps for security, binding post to hold it all into place. Clickety click. I've also got another 4 knives on the go, and they're made from Nitro V, a stainless steel, so at the moment I can't temper those myself. I'll send them away to be done professionally. The blades are the blades shaped, they're not sharpened, in the process of drilling out holes in them at the moment for the handle material. Again, a rough shaped handle material on 4. Still got one little piece of metal left, and I'm looking at doing another knife for that as well, which I'll probably do so I can get all the stainless ones heat treated in one go, because yeah, it's just easier and cheaper just to do it all in one whack. Yeah, and I've got another knife which I have finished and still need to make a sheath for. Yeah, actually I've got 3 knives which I need to make sheaths for, but yeah. Anyway, that's where we're up to at the moment. Freezing cold day, middle of winter, making knives, drinking water. Cheers guys, all the best.